Ah, our teenage years. Do you remember them? They were wonder years, full of mischief, fun, exciting times, and some real stupid things that we did. Most of the stupid things that we did were not harmful, they were harmless, like pranking each other, trying to eat some food that you usually don't eat, things like that. But one day, when friends had got together, a group of friends had dared four of us to do something that nobody had tried before. You see, in our town, we had a graveyard which was huge, large, very big. It could be driven from one side to the other. There were a few gates and two main gates to drive in and drive out. Inside the graveyard, obviously, there were a lot of graves. The graveyard was quite old. Also, there was a water body. So the dare was that we had to drive in, go near the water body, take a picture and send it to the people who had dared us and then drive out. Everything had to happen after 12 o'clock at night. I have no idea why we agreed to this or why we took this dare on. But then in your teenage years, you're hardly thinking. So to do this, none of us had a car. We begged, borrowed a really old car from a friend's brother. He promised us that it will work. So we took the car and we set our date and we went to do our dare. The night was dark. There was no moon, but the night has a little bit of ambient light. So we slowly reached the main gate of the graveyard. It was open. Also, we had no idea if the graveyard had a caretaker, had more than one caretaker. We had no knowledge of that. So we just put the lights off of the car and slowly got the car inside, trying not to make any noise. Believe me, guys, the moment we crossed the threshold into the graveyard, something changed. It's as if we had entered a different realm. A realm where the silence was deafening, where there was no breeze, no wind. It was almost like vacuum. And we all started feeling some kind of discomfort. Anyway, it was a dare. We had to do it. So we started moving slowly towards the water body, where we would try to take a picture and then drive out as soon as possible. As we neared the water body, we realized that there was somebody sitting near it. At first glance, we couldn't understand who it was. And one of us said, "Oh, this must be the caretaker. Guys, be careful." So we tried to be as slow as possible to reach there, click a picture and move out. But at that point of time, we saw another person come up from behind this person when he was sitting and raising something over his head. We had no idea what he was raising. Was it a stone? Was it some kind of something to kill him? Involuntarily, all of us shouted out. In that deafening silence, our sounds traveled as if hitting like stone. And both these two figures, the one sitting and the one holding something over his head, stood up. Our car was very near the water point at that time. And we clearly saw these people. They were two men and they were huge. They were so tall. They were taller almost like the trees in the graveyard. We were dumbfounded. We had no idea what to do. And from the back seat, my friend started saying, "Go, go, go, go." But as luck would have it, at that point of time, the car went completely dead. We couldn't start the car. The friend who was driving it went crazy. The car wouldn't start. We rolled up the windows as fast as possible and locked the doors and started shivering inside the car. I digged out my phone, trying to call my brother or my father to help us out, but there was no cell signal. And then the noises started. We saw those two men running on the water towards us. And all around us, we started hearing sound. Somebody was banging on the car, on the back of the car, on the side of the car. For 30 minutes or more, I don't know how long, we were all scared and we were almost in tears. Some of us started crying. One friend wanted to throw up. Then, thankfully, the car ignited. It started, and we dashed out of that place. But believe me, there was something that night. Because as soon as we crossed the other gate of the graveyard, our cell signals were back. Everything seemed normal. That night there was something at us, something coming at us in that graveyard. There was something there, and that something was not human.